Hey, Smash. You know, to be honest, I don't know who I'm making this for. I don't know if I'm making this for myself or. I've been really reclusive lately, both online and in my personal life. The last year and a half, almost 2 years, have been probably some of the worst years. I think pretty close. They're one of the top worst sections of my life. I've had some pretty crappy years in my 29 years of life. And the last two have really just like stacked up as some really crappy ones that I wish I could just get rid of and never have to think about again. But I've just been feeling really reclusive and pushing people away and not enjoying the things that I enjoyed before and not doing the things that I did before because I've just felt really broken and destroyed and utterly just crushed. And there have been things in my personal life that have brought me to this point, things that I don't necessarily want to discuss or share, but just it's left me in this really dark, broken place where I feel really unlovable and really unloved and just shattered. I've been in this emotional position before, which I think is why I'm not devastated right now or I'm not in hysterics. But I certainly feel it, and the pain certainly doesn't feel any easier than last time. In fact, it doesn't feel worse, it doesn't feel different, it doesn't really feel the same either. But I think the hardest thing about feeling like this is that there's a part of me that almost feels like I deserve it. And there's almost a part of me that feels like, well, you're not a good person anyway. So, like, you deserve to have bad things happen to you. Which is not true. I'm not a bad person. I don't do bad things. I stay in my lane. I mind my own business. I don't hurt people. I'm not mean to people. I don't attack people online. I'm emotionally supportive for my friends. I do things that would quantify me as a good person, but I see myself as a bad person and as someone who deserves bad things to happen to them, despite the facts of nothing really points to that I've ever done in my life. And I've always felt this way. Ever since I was a kid, I always felt like, well, you're just a bad person. Like, you deserve bad things to happen to you. You deserve to have your parents treat you a certain way. You deserve to have your friends treat you this way. You deserve to have people at school treat you this way. You're not a good person. And I've always thought that, and I've always felt like I deserved bad things happening to me. And I went to a lot of therapy to try to undo that. And I thought that I was in a better place, and I thought that I had fixed a lot of that, or I thought a lot of that had been mended, but I find myself here again in this position of, you're worthless, you're garbage, you don't mean anything to anybody. And that's where I find myself feeling most days. And so because of that, I push people away, and I push things that I like away, and I don't participate in things that I would normally find joy in because I don't feel like I deserve to be happy. And I don't necessarily feel like hurting myself or committing suicide like I have in the past. But I certainly just kind of wish that I could stop existing. And I need to be honest with myself about where I'm at and not just brush it to the side and ignore it, because that's how I got here in the first place. Is I just became complacent in where I was, and I allowed those cracks to start forming and to start breaking and becoming worse than what they were. It really sucks because I don't like being here. And I'm trying to put the pieces back together, and I'm trying to understand what I want and what I want to do moving forward. And who I want to be. You know, I think a lot of times when I feel like this, I'm facing identity crisis issues, and I think I just need to push myself. But yeah, I'm taking steps and trying to put those pieces back together. That's it. Thank you for listening. Bye.